Good morning, everyone, and what a wonderful, beautiful Tuesday morning it is. The supermoon is still well in the sky here in the northern hemisphere, so it's pretty cool. We got sunrise and supermoon today. Um, this morning, I'm gonna just start basically over the course of this next month or so, just really laying it out there as we prepare for disclosure. And this is something that, as a human race, if you watch my messages, if you see this, you will see it more and more becoming a reality in wherever you are, as well as around the world, because this is the time, this is the place. We are moving towards disclosure. There are people within our secret Earth government, as well as the United States government, as well as all the governments around the world, and within the secret space program, that are fully prepared to give independence or liberation to the human race. Now, this all sounds very science fiction. It all sounds very right out of a novel, right out of a movie. But the reality, literally, that we used to inhabit, and that we are going to inhabit for the just tiny little foreseeable future until disclosure happens, is one where the human race was enslaved. They were enslaved by malevolent ETs, as well as their allies in the human race, through whom of which, through inbreeding and just bloodlines, have managed, and secret societies have kept a control over the consciousness of the human race. And when you control consciousness, or when you can control the way that people think and feel, you can control how they, in the world which has been created for us, how we spend our money and how we create our value systems, what we believe to be important, what we don't place importance on. And the biggest kind of brainwashing push by the fear system has been to eliminate the need for God, the need for spirituality, the need for love to be in the life, in the home, in the workplace. And because of this, we get the world financial system that we see and live with now. We get societies that are afraid of one another, even though they're living in the same geographical location. We get intolerance, we get hatred, we get greed, we get poverty, we get starvation, all because of a fear system, because these malevolent ETs, which are known as the Draco Federation, they require fear, the energy that comes from fear, as sustenance, because they are participating in what is known as the Luciferian complex, or the Lucifer experiment, where they sever themselves from unity consciousness. They sever their conscious ties with prana, with ether, with chi, spiritual life force energy, that which powers your heart, that which powers mine, that which powers our souls, all of that. That abundant tachyon energy that powers the universe, that creates the source field, which creates gravity, which creates inertia. They've separated themselves from that, so they have to find an alternative life force that is also spiritual in nature, and it comes through fear. Fear is a slower moving vibratory wave, so therefore their entire modality of thinking is absent. If we're using pianos here, they're absent very specific keys on the chromatic scale. So we could put it another way and say that they're only playing the piano using the black keys, and they're not using the white keys, which clearly makes up more of the piano's keyboard. Because of this, they get a very limited and tainted and distorted view of the universe, of the purpose of life, of love. I mean, they don't have the perception of love, because on their keyboard there are no white keys, so they therefore cannot play with those things, so therefore they must play with only the black. And in order to do this, they have to create fear and war and suffering and grief, which has served them well in the past, being here on Earth, because they're using our United States military-industrial complex. They have created a vast infrastructure, as well as space fleet and Earth fleet, that sole purpose is using technology that is beyond our comprehension at the time being. Using that technology, they keep you in a state of fear. I've even gone as far as to hear that there are ships, like oil tankers, essentially 2 miles long, that hover in near Earth orbit due to technological advances, which they are in possession of. They are cloaked, i.e. invisible. We can't see them, but the whole purpose of them, which are equidistantly spread out across the Earth, is to project, mind, control radio waves, specific frequencies that keep you from experiencing the full abundance of life, that keep you from experiencing joy, which keep you from experiencing absolute certainty that says you are a creation of love, you are unlimited, you have an unlimited potential to create harmony, and in doing so, they get their war and their strife and their fear system. So that was a lot, I know. But one thing, because their political and their reach, it knew no bounds. They went everywhere with their control system, and the most predominant form of control that they manifest, which carried all the way up until the 30s, was religion, as well as science. But in this video, I'm going to talk about religion, and specifically Christianity. Christianity is a wonderful, beautiful, very, very, very chock full of truth religion. It will lead you to the light. However, you have to get past the dogmas. You have to really sit and meditate and allow, since we're using Christianity, you have to allow Christ to come into your life and cleanse away the dogmas. And once you allow for this, Christ will come into your life, and he will tell you that he was, in fact, and is not, in fact, the only child of God, that you and I and all of us are children of God. He would go even further to say that we are all fractalized photons of the one infinite creator. So you could imagine a sparkler or a fountain like the bonfire that we just had here the other day, and as it lights that congruent flame that is a part of the entire pyre, that would be, in our analogy, the source, the creator, and then all the little sparks that fly out off the top, that would be you and I, fractalizing into infinite intelligence and going out to create our own reality, though all the while being a fractalized piece of that one original source of light. You boil it down into scientific terms and say that there was a beam of light, and those beams are comprised of photons, and each photon represents a soul and a reality. So it goes that far. But just to kind of sum up what I was getting at with Christianity is that as a believer in Christ, that's fine. Be the best Christian. It's absolutely wonderful. Be the best Christian you possibly can be, but transcend the dogmas that say that only through Christ will you be allowed entry into the kingdom of heaven. And no, it's not how it works. If you just raise your consciousness and be more loving, that's what Christ was really inspiring people to do, and it's what I'm inspiring you to do, and it's the way, it's the path, it's the love, it's the light. Be more loving. Be of service to others. The more percentage you are of service to others, the better this transition will go for you, because there will come a time when this technology being used by the Draco and the secret Earth government, the Committee of 200 and the Bilderbergs and the secret societies, there will come a time when their technology, where they will have to come forward and say, we have this technology and we are now going to stop using it. And then you will need at that point to prepare yourself for a cosmic shift that will take place, which would have otherwise already taken place if this energy were not in effect, in service to the Draco. It's going to look like spiritual rays, very strong ones, that have been coming and hitting our planet for a long time now. A lot of you who are sensitive have already felt this energy increase, and this is only but a small taste. Once the fear grid is completely taken down, then you will feel it in its full spectrum, and it'll look like a psychedelic experience, and it'll essentially, you'll begin creating whatever is in your mind. So this is the whole practice of be more loving and calm the mind, because whatever it is that truly is going on inside of you, that's going to become manifest. So start taking responsibility for your own inner world now, and you will see it just completely, fully prosper and bloom into the ideal world and situation that you need for your spiritual growth. And what the planet needs is world peace, and we need cooperation and cohesion and unity. And this is done only by raising your consciousness and being more loving. And then the Creator will take care of the rest. We're going to have a beautiful world. We already do. We're going to have a peaceful existence because we already do. And those of you who are focusing on the opposite of that, or the absence of those things, you're only going to serve to continue to create more of the lack of abundance, the fear, the protests, the riots, all that stuff. If you focus on the positivity, if that becomes your way of life, doing for others, serving for others, then that will be the reality that you begin to inherit. So the kingdom of the Creator is at hand, and just peace, love, and light to you. Go forth, prosper, thrive, and do so while raising your consciousness and being more loving. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.